Hi there, it's Mr. Smith, and in this video I'll be going over our syllabus. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is our home page when you sign into our course, and this is the view that I like, but you can also click on content and you have a different view, and you can navigate through the website using these links. I want you to notice there's two ways to get into the syllabus. You can click on syllabus in the blue ribbon here, or you can see we're already, oh wait, no we're not. Let's see, we can click on here, syllabus and calendar, or if I go back to the original screen, there's the syllabus and calendar link there. All right, so obviously this is where the video I'm making is going to be. And what you're going to see here is there's another link to the syllabus, and there's also a link to a Dallas College discussion of what a syllabus is. If you're not really all that familiar with the college and syllabi, you can check that out. Let's go ahead and click on the syllabus link. Excuse me. All right, so here's our syllabus. This course is developmental mathematics. And the thing that separates this one from all the others is the section number, which is 145, and it is DMAT0305. Now there's also the BASM part of this course, BASM0053. Basically, we'll do all our work in this course, but you will find the syllabus in that other course. I don't have it there yet, but it will be there. So let's go ahead and go over the syllabus. So my contact information, my name's Scott with one T, Smith. And so my nickname, because of my first name, is 1T. You can call me Mr. Smith or 1T, or I pretty much answer to most things. My email is Scott Smith, all lowercase with no space, at dallascollege.edu. Office number is J127, and if you want to have a conversation, you can reach me at 972-677-8940. As far as emails are concerned, I'm usually pretty good about getting back to students. We're supposed to get back within 24 hours. I'm usually much better than that. But I have many classes that I'm teaching this semester, and on occasion somebody will send me an email and I can't deal with it right away and I forget to come back to it. So if that ever happens and you don't hear from me within 24 hours, please resend your email and just say, hey, I sent an email yesterday, but I haven't heard anything. And anyway, and I will probably be very apologetic and I will get back to you on that. But again, normally I'm pretty good about responding back. My off out, excuse me, it's late in the day and it's showing. So notice my office hours are the times I set aside to help students in person or by email or phone. So office hours are for students, so don't ever hesitate to come in if you have anything you need. I'll be in my office Monday through Thursday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. and then Tuesday and Thursday afternoons from 1 to 1:30. I'm also going to be in the library doing some tutoring hours, so I'll post those once that's been worked out. And again, I'm in J127. There's a map of the campus if that helps. There's our withdrawal date. Hopefully nobody's going to have to withdraw, but if for some reason you do, it's got to be by November 13th. And the certification date, we'll talk more about that in just a little bit. So there's the course description. You should read through that if you're interested to see what we're going to be discussing in general. For more specific learning outcomes, things you're going to learn, you can look at these here. Required course materials. So, excuse me, our textbook is called Developmental Mathematics, and you can see the information about it there. but it's actually included with your tuition when you enroll in a course, unless you opt out of the Include Ed program. Include Ed program includes everything as far as text and those types of materials. Um, I don't know if I haven't heard anything lately about opting out, but it's really not something you want to do. You're very unlikely to save yourself any money, and if you know the biggest issue is at some point, if things aren't handled correctly, you'll lose access to my math lab right in the middle of the semester, and that's not a good thing. Notice My Math Lab, or My Lab Math is its newer name. It's an online textbook-based software where you're going to be completing your assignments. So you're going to need a computer with internet access because you'll spend a lot of time doing the assignments on the computer. And it tells you there how to get started. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just click on the My Math Lab link and then go from there. So this is the calculator that I highly recommend that you have if you don't have a really nice calculator. And I'll talk about what that means in the class. It's a TI-30XS multi-view calculator. The nice thing about it is you can see your typed in numbers as you're putting them in. You can put fractions within fractions. It's a very nice, easy to use calculator. I'm still having a hard time talking here, but that's okay. Some of you may have a TI-84 and you can certainly use that, and if you're going on to college algebra, that might be a good choice. But this other calculator, which runs about 15, 20 bucks, is very good for what we do in this course. So notice homework's 10%, quizzes are 10%, tests are 60%, and your final is 20%. So basically, for each section that we cover, you'll get a homework assignment. And when you put in answers, you're going to know if you do them right or wrong. And nice thing is you get feedback, or it'll tell you how to do this type of problem if you're having difficulty. On the other hand, I do want to say sometimes students treat their homework almost like a video game. They don't really write down anything or very little. And I really think it's important, and I know for me, writing things out always helped me to learn. In fact, I used to just write something out repeatedly if I was trying to remember it or memorize it. But all to say, as you do your homework, I would encourage you to write out the problems and show your steps, go step by step. Make a note of any questions, anything you're kind of struggling with, anything you want to come back to before you take a quiz or before you take your test. And so then you have your quizzes. And really, I think the nice thing about the quizzes is, first of all, you should try to do them without any notes. So look at your notes first, then take the quiz. And if you do well on the quiz, that's a good indication that you're learning the things that you need to learn before the test. On the other hand, if you're using your notes to get you through the quiz, then that's a sign that you still have a lot of work to do to learn the material. As you're working through the problems in homework or quizzes, it's really important to ask yourself, do I understand what I'm doing here? Could I do this problem if I were given it on a test? Could I do it from start to finish without any help? Notice for tests, there's 6 of those, and if you have an average on your homework of 80% or better, I will drop your lowest test score at the end of the semester. And then notice there is a final, and it does talk about the BASM course. Basically, you'll be able to look into that course, and I'll have the syllabi there. I don't have it there yet, but basically, your first 2 tests, the grade that you have at that point will determine your BASM grade. I want you to notice on the breakdown here on grades, 90 to 100% is an A and so on, but notice there are no D grades in these courses. It's pass or fail. So you're taking 2 courses. I think it's so important that you give this a really good effort and do everything you can to pass both courses this semester, because if you have to return, there is no single course that you can take. You have to retake both courses. So I really encourage you to do it right the first time. The whole point of this course is to get you ready for your college level course. And so I'd really love to see you all get through and move on. All right, so next thing we have is the course schedule. I'll actually supply you with a calendar, basically this calendar here, as a handout because it doesn't print out very well. But anyway, you can see that each week it's very clear what assignments are due. Notice the second day of our second week of class, we have no class on Monday. And you can see that our first test is not until the fourth week. So anyway, the other thing, as far as when things are due, is when you're doing your assignments in my math lab, you'll also see these due dates there as well. All right, well, let's see, I think I have just a couple more things. If there's any kind of changes that I make, I'll announce those in eCampus and also in class. We talked about the certification date. It's basically you need to show up at least once in the first 2 weeks of the course and start doing assignments in my math lab. Now keep in mind, as it's saying here, you've got assignments all the way up through section 8.5 that are due by the end of the second week in order to be on schedule. It's really important to stay on track and to get assignments completed on time. So hopefully you'll get off to a good start and not be behind. I wouldn't encourage you to do the minimum. Late work is basically 25% off. And as far as tests are concerned, it's really important that if you don't make it on the day of a test, that you contact me right away. And if you know, we'll have to discuss your situation, but I would just say make sure you're taking your test on the day of the test. You know, saying that you just didn't study enough, you know, that's not a good excuse. But again, if there's anything special going on, I'm a reasonable person, but I do expect students to be responsible and take the test on schedule in normal circumstances. So we do have some support contacts here, things like getting in touch with a success coach or tutoring. You can look at the other links that are here. Just familiarize yourself with those. And then if you've never gone into the institutional policies, you know, things like dropping classes, disabilities, Title IX, disciplinarian types of things, I think it's important that you're aware of what the policies are. So you should look through those at least once. All right, I think that's pretty much everything I want to talk about. If you have any questions, just reach out to me and I will clarify anything that's not clear. All right, that's it for this video.